Shrewbury College here is situated in the county town of Shrewsbury. It consists of 3 colleges within the town. I'm based in London Road. I'm the course tutor for the level 3 side of engineering. You'll have to excuse me because my presentation didn't load right. So basically I'm doing it a little bit off the cuff. Here at London Road, as Isabel was saying, we do the BTEC side of engineering, consisting of 19 units spread over 2 years. We're looking at the typical BTEC side of it, you could say, four mandatory, which is the maths, further maths, and the engineering projects and computer drafting, that sort of thing. We spread it over 19, 20 units. So when they're coming into their second unit, the second year, sorry, when they're coming into the second year, they can focus more on what university they want to go to, if they want to go down that route, or whether they want to go to an apprenticeship style education, of which I would say a good quarter of hours, if not half, of the BTEC go into apprenticeships. The quarter moving on to the degree level courses. And as Isabel pointed out, you've got to be careful of the units you're taking as dependent on what the university requires. So that's covering the BTEC side of it, 19 units spread over 2 years. On the more vocational side of it, we tend to do the City and Guilds level, and that is the level 2 is a 1-year course covering 6 units. We're starting off with the 201, which is an online exam. Then the 202 is another online exam, and the 203, which is the principal side of whether it's welding or whether it is mechanical side. That covers the whole year. So it's covering the whole, I'm just trying to think now, yes. So it covers from September right through to June. A typical example of some of these at level 2 would be your bench fitting piece, which we always start on to get the students involved in the workshop process, so they become familiar with workshops and a safe working. So that's a typical chain link extractor. Then we're going on to the manual milling, which is a typical level 2 piece again. That slides up and down there. I don't know if you can see that or not. That nicely slides up and down there. That needs to meet the criteria. And then the center lathe side is 2 parts together, produced like that there. Not only have they got to produce these, but they've also got to do the workbook to support it, and there's a short answer question paper at the end. All those 3 put together make the unit. That's the level 2 side of it, thank you. I say there's 6 units, that makes the level 2 City and Guilds. On successful completion of that, we do have students moving on to the BTEC if they're comfortable with that and they've gained the correct qualifications to move on to. If they're not comfortable still doing a more academic course and want to go down the more craft route, we do a level 3. And the level 3 is exactly the same, 6 units spread over a year. Look, in the first 2 are the online exams, which is the 301, 302. Each one of those covers the health and safety and maths. Then going on to the what you could technically call the 303. That would be your principles, covering the entire year again, going from September start through to June. This last year has been very awkward because it's more of a craft side of it. We've had to get them in at the tail end of the year due to the COVID, back in for 2 weeks to cover the set criteria to meet the standards. Fortunately, we did all the delivery from home, so that was quite good. We managed to tie everything together at the end. So if we can move on to the level 3 side of it now, we're looking at, quite typically, they start off with pieces like this, four-jaw work, as typical center lathe stub axle. These are more technical, where they are screw cut, internal screw cut, external screw cut. Also covering a little bit of four-jaw work. I don't know if you see, it's off center through there and there. So that's on the center lathe side of it. If we move over to the milling side, we do the milling pieces like this, which fit together, just with a little dovetail sliding through. Nice piece. And then you need to pitch out a hole pattern like that, so they get an understanding of how to use the controls. So far, so good, I think. Then move up to level 3, moving things on. We are looking at CNC work, where they manually write programs, but also doing an alpha cam, which we have here. We can, excuse me, then set a task out like this to mill out on a CNC lathe. That's a typical CNC piece, which is on the level 3 course. Or you could plumb for something like this on Alpha Cam, where you machine a lot of features, go to the machine, set the tooling, set the datums. It's already pre-programmed on the desk. Take your program to the machine with a USB stick, plug it in, download your program, press the button, and I would say 90% of the time that is what we get, because we can run the graphics through the Alpha Cam side. Going on to the welding side, more to the mechanical side, from the level 2 side of it, we do welding like this. But if you see that, that's a typical weld down there in TIG. This student has done a very nice weld where he's done 3 different processes and he's left his filler rod in place just to show how he was using it. You can also do the stainless steel welding side of it like this. This is done in the vertical position going up. That's done in the flat position going that way and that way, all in stainless steel. Nice piece. With the level 3 side of it, on the welding and fabrication, they'll also cover the development on the fabrication in order for them to manufacture parts like this. All from flat sheet steel, square to round, collar on. That is the standard we get to at level 3. So they can go into industry and prove their skill. Another nice job we do, more of a demonstration piece than actually for any unit. There's a little cube sitting on there in aluminium, welded all the way around. I say we do that more of a display piece just to show what our students can do. And it always looks nice with events like this. So as you can see, high level of skill set to get them into these apprenticeship jobs. We deal with most probably 20 to 30 manufacturing companies in the area, and we're growing all the time. I think I've just about wrapped things up, to be honest with you. Are there any questions, please? Or was that go on the Q and answer what side of it?
Yeah, on the Q&A is where the one which we've had from Ward has asked what units are in the BTEC course.
What units are in the BTEC course? Okay, so the standard, which I've got 19 units here. So we'll look. The first one we kick off with is always a must for any course we do, whether it's City and Guilds or whether it's BTEC. Always start off with the health and safety. Then we go on communication for engineers, then the engineering project, and then maths for engineering. Those are 4 mandatory units that is a must. Then we do the engineering secondary machining and finishing. We also do using secondary machining techniques. So in workshops, so there are some practical elements within the BTEC. We do welding technology. We do properties of materials. So we're drilling down into the material structure. We go down to the atomic structure, and we build on from there for the 4 different types of materials. And then we go on to the welding tests as well. Whoops, looks a bit unstable, but it should be okay. The property of material. We've got 1, 2, 3, because I'm in the classroom now. 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 different inspection techniques for testing of materials. We do the pneumatic and hydraulics because we've got new rigs set up. We do mechanical measurements. The electrical and electronic elements we do, that's a big element. Because I'm more mechanical, I don't know the full background of that one, so I'll apologise for that. I believe our tutors call it EAPS. Fluid of mechanicals. We do the CNC elements, and we do the CAM, which is the computer aided manufacturing. We do further maths, which I would highly recommend for any engineer. When we do the principles of devices and circuits. We do the industrial controls such as Siemens control, and we do the computer aided drafting. So we use SolidWorks here. I think that's run through the BTEC. That's about 19 units, I think. Any
That's
questions
fantastic.
on that one, please?
I hope that helped. No, I think that's it. Oh, have we got another one? No, yeah, they've just said thank you. That's nice.
Okay. No, that's fine. As I say, taking on what Isabel said, to be fair, she made a good point, is look at what university you want to go to and look at the BTEC unit and the units you're going to do, because you can break that down to suit what engineering course you want to go on to. Because I did an apprenticeship as a young lad, didn't take a degree, but I went back to college to build my skills, or build my HNC, and progress from there. Any questions, please?